Good morning, everybody. So, in the previous class, that is yesterday, we have studied the types of stainless steels, its properties, applications. Now, today's class, we are going to study the next type of alloy of iron and carbon, that is cast iron. So, I have already explained you there are two main types of alloys of iron and carbon. First alloy is steel, and second alloy is cast iron. So percentage of carbon in the steel is limited to 2, so 0.008 to 2%. When carbon is added in the iron, that alloy called as steel. But when percentage of carbon varies more than 2, and it will be up to 6.67%, then that alloy of iron and carbon is called as cast iron. Now, already whenever I have explained the diagram, so during that explanation I told at the whatever x-axis is given, on that x-axis the percentage of carbon is 6.67. Usually we are showing 100% carbon, but at 6.67 percentage of carbon there is 100% cementite, and later on that diagram is of no use. That's why we are studying only the diagram up to 6.67%. Actually there is up to 100%, but it is of no use. That's why we are drawing only part of the diagram. So I hope that diagram is in front of you. You can turn the pages back. Let us start with the next bit, that is cast iron. So if you read, it is alloy of iron and carbon with 2 to 6.67% carbon. So this is theoretical. We are treating it as a cast iron as there is a 100% cementite at 6.67% carbon. But at normal circumstances, if in universe, anywhere in day-to-day life, if you check any of the cast iron, you will not find more than 4.5 to 5%. So in day-to-day life, wherever you find the cast iron, if you check its composition, you will find it as a 4.5% to 5%. Maximum, I'm telling you, it may be 3%, 3.5%, no problem. But more than 5% carbon, that alloy is extreme brittleness, because the amount of cementite is almost more than 80-85%, and that's why it is of no use. That's why commercial cast irons are available in percentage 4.5 to 5% only. So this you have to remember. Theoretically, we can say that up to 6.67 there is a cast iron, but practically only up to 4.5 to 5% cast iron is available. There are three main types. Out of that, first two are main type: gray cast iron and red cast iron. And third one is the mortar cast iron, which is mixture of first two. We are going to study one by one what are the characteristics of these three cast irons. Before we go to study of actual cast iron, let us see what are the factors affecting the formation of cast iron. See the diagram. Just at glance, look at about 2 seconds. Diagram. Then gray cast iron, see the percentage of carbon. White cast iron, see the percentage of carbon. Rate of cooling and amount of graphitizing element. Let us check one. Let us see one example, that is gray cast iron. So if percentage of carbon is little higher, that is 3.5 to 4.5, and that melt, in that case, if you cool slowly, and that melt will have some element like silicon, which is a strong graphitizer. So these conditions are favorable for formation of gray cast iron. means you have molten cast iron and you know the percentage of carbon is 3.5 to 4.5, and if you add little more amount of silicon in that melt and if you pour it, then it will solidify as a grey cast iron. Same thing, percentage of carbon is little less. It is not less than 2. Okay, because range starts from 2. So 2.5 to 3.2% of carbon that melt, and you have to take care that amount of graphitizing element is getting less. And if you cool fast, then after pouring and solidification, that microstructure will be white cast iron. And in next slides, we will see what exactly meaning of grey and white. So please 1 minute, 1 minute. So, what is grey cast iron? What is white cast iron? That parts will be covered in the next slide. These are the colors. Okay, so on what basis these colors are given? These colors are given based on the cross section of the steel, which cast iron, which we are taking. Now, favorable conditions are given in this chart. So, every time it may not happen that all these three favorable conditions are takes place. Means higher carbon, slow rate, and more amount of graphitizing element, or lower carbon, fast rate, and less amount of graphitizing element. This may not happen every time. There may be mismatch. So what kind of mismatch I am telling? 3.5 to 4.5% of carbon, and then cooling will be fast, and amount of graphitizing is also more. Or 2.5 to 3.2% carbon, that is less carbon, but cooling will be slow, and also graphitizing elements are less. So if such combinations will be there, then your structure after pouring will not be perfect grey or will not be perfect white. It will be mixture of grey and white. And such cast iron is called as molten cast iron. It's not shown in table, that's why I'm explaining. I will repeat once again. Grey cast iron will be formed when percentage of carbon is higher, amount of graphitizing elements are more, and it is cooled with slow cooling rate. Whereas white cast iron will be produced when percentage of carbon is less and amount of graphitizing elements are less, and that mixture is cooled or when it is cooled very fastly. Whereas if there will be mixing of these factors, there will not be perfect grey cast iron or perfect white cast iron, and it will be mixture of both. Such mixture of grey cast iron and white cast iron is called as molten cast iron. Now, let me explain. So, grey cast iron, a black cross section due to presence of free graphite. I will repeat statement once again. Cast iron shows faint black cross section due to presence of free graphite. You take any of the part of grey cast iron, if you make the fracture of it, after the fracture, you will see some faint black color. Faint black color is called as grey color. So that's why we are calling such cast iron as a grey cast iron, because of its cross section of fracture shows faint black color. That's why it is called as grey cast iron. Now, what is graphitization reaction and what is graphitizing element? So, very simple. You are in the melt state. In that melt state, there is a liquid. When it will be solidified, first phase formed is austenite and cementite. So, when you are cooling it, am I audible? Somebody reply. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So, when you are cooling from liquid state, first phase formed is austenite and cementite, depends upon percentage of carbon. And once solidification is over, from there, if you start cooling, from that higher phase. That cooling I am talking about in previous slide. Once solidification is over, your phase is austenite and cementite. From there, when you are cooling, this cementite decomposes into 3Fe plus C. This reaction is called as graphitization reaction. I repeat once again, Fe2C that gives 3Fe plus C. That is called as graphitization reaction, and elements like silicon are acting as a catalyst which increases the rate of this reaction. This is called as graphitizing element. So more amount of silicon favors gray cast iron because it increases the rate of graphitization reaction. Once rate of graphitization reaction is more and more cementite will be converted into 3Fe plus C. Now this 3Fe goes to alpha, that is ferrite, and C remains C, that is pure carbon. So pure carbon is graphite here, and that graphite is in the form of flakes. It is written here. Graphite is in the form of flakes. Now, what is meaning of flake? Flake means curved leaves. Means you have seen चुरगळलेली पानं असतात ना, जशी झाडाची पूर्ण वाळलेली चुरगळलेली पानं, that is called as flake shape. So curved leaves you can say. So that graphite is in the form of curved leaves. That is called as a flake. And this reaction takes place completely. Means you are cooling and coming down to the room temperature. By the time you are coming to room temperature, there is no cementite. Complete cementite decomposes into 3Fe plus C. But friends, P is there. P, that is perlite. So P is perlite. Cementite is along with ferrite, that is separate phase. That is called as perlite. I am talking about pre-cementite. So pre-cementite is decomposed into 3Fe plus C, and at room temperature there will not be any pre-cementite, and it will be only free carbon. And microstructure shows, see, before we go to next, see here, this is G. G stands for graphite. Arrow marks are shown. This whitish part, F. F stands for ferrite. And P, remaining part surrounding, is called as perlite. So cementite is, no pre-cementite is present here. So microstructure of gray cast iron is ferrite plus perlite plus graphite. And graphite is in the form of flakes. And why there is no pre-cementite? Because graphitization reaction takes place, and completely graphitization reaction converts cementite into ferrite, this 3Fe plus. Cementite is hard. So as pure hard phase is not present, gray cast iron is soft in nature. This cast iron is cheapest in the all alloys. It is having high fluidity and excellent damping capacity due to presence of graphite flakes. What are the applications? Flywheels, machine beds, pump housings. This large pump housing, if you have seen, if you go to municipal corporation water stations, you will find big pumps. So that pump housings, machine bed. Machine bed means your lathe machine you have seen. So whatever lathe machine, milling machine, grinding, whatever may be the machine you have seen, that beds are made up of gray cast iron. Then drainage pipes, pistons, bushes, etc. So there is a question. Earlier 3-4 times it was asked. Justify. Machine beds are made up of gray cast iron. So you have to write answer for 3 marks. So how to explain? I am just explaining. You can write down shortly. So reason is gray cast iron is used for making the machine beds. So first explanation should start. What is the requirement of machine bed, and how gray cast iron fulfills that requirement? Any reason may be asked now. It should be written in this way. What is the requirement and how it is fulfilled? So this machine bed's requirement, it should it should have this, your material should have good fluidity because it is heavy in size, and metal should flow in each and every corner of the mold. Okay, so first requirement that machine bed is large in size, and the material which is used for pouring, it should have good fluidity. Second thing, number of operations are performed on the machines. So whatever operations are performed and whatever shocks are generating, all shocks are absorbed by the bed. So your machine bed should have good shock absorption capacity. Next paragraph. White grey cast iron is having great fluidity. At the same time, it is having excellent damping capacity due to presence of free graphite. The requirements of machine beds are fulfilled by grey cast iron. Hence, grey cast iron is used for making the machine beds. Very simple. You will get 3 marks. Unwanted, if you write 3 pages, you may get 0 mark. But if meaningful 4 to 5 lines will give 3 out of 3 marks. Second thing, grey cast iron is used for bushes. Bush is one kind of bearing. So I hope you know the concept bush. So bush is mounted on the shaft and on the rotary part. So that shaft will not wear and tear, and bush may be wear and tear. It is one kind of bearing. Now, graphite is a solid lubricant. Remember always, graphite is a solid lubricant. So if bushes are made up of grey cast iron, it will provide good quality of bearing properties, and hence these grey cast irons are also used for making the bushes. This is about grey cast iron. So shortly, I will tell the characteristics of grey cast iron. It consists of more percentage of carbon, around 3.5 to 4.5. That you have to write here. I have not written double. Whatever is written in the table, same thing you have to write here. Grey cast iron is having around 3.5 to 4.5% carbon, and it is obtained by slow cooling. And due to slow cooling, there is a sufficient time for graphitization reaction, and this graphitization reaction completely takes place, which converts free cementite into this 3Fe plus carbon. This 3Fe goes to ferrite, and carbon remains in the free form in the form of flakes. This consists of graphitizing elements like silicon, which increases the rate of reaction, and hence complete graphitization reaction takes place in fastly. This cast iron is cheapest in the all alloys and having high fluidity and excellent damping capacity, and it is used for making the following applications. And microstructure you have to draw. So how to draw microstructure I will show here. I have taken photo, but for actual drawing you can show plates like this. These are graphite plates. Then you can show perlite. In this way, you show the hatched part. Don't draw a larger length for it. In this way, you have to fill it all the gaps. I have just drawn for the demonstration purpose. In this way. So this is graphite plate, carbon. This is perlite, and this white gap, whatever is available, that is alpha. So microstructure of grey cast iron have alpha plus P plus C. Okay. This is all about grey cast iron. Sub question may be asked for 4 marks. Reason may be asked for 3 marks. Microstructure may be asked for 2 marks. So number of questions possibilities I told on this bit. I hope you have drawn the figure. Take the screenshot. Now, whatever graphite flakes available in the free form, they are of number of types. So So these are types of graphite flakes. If you see, there are 5 types of graphite flakes: type A, B, C, D, and E. So A type means what? It is uniform distribution and random orientation. Uniform distribution and random orientation. Second type, it is rosette grouping. It may be in the form of groups like this, and this I have shown with a little correct separation of the flakes. But in microstructure, we may just see the larger, darker dots. Like if you take one paper and if you wrinkle it, म्हणजे कागद घेतला आणि असं चुरगाळून टाकला त्याचा असं आपण गोळा केला म्हणतो, in that way, that is the rosette shape. Then next one is superimposed flakes, larger size. If cooling is little fast, then it may produce interdendritic flakes and random orientation, like shown in type D. And in this case, interdendric grains and preferred orientation. So preferred orientation means in earlier case, so I will give you an example of preferred means one orientation directly in this way. But random means like this, anywhere. So this upper is random and bottom is preferred orientation. So bottom line, A, B, C, D, E. Out of these 5 types, only one structure is having good properties. That is type A. So type A form distribution and random orientation. So we must form this type A structure during obtaining the gray cast iron. So if you will obtain the gray cast iron with uniform distribution of flakes and random orientation, then such gray cast iron is called as good quality of gray cast iron. Now, what kind of questions we will ask in draw the net sketches of types of graphite flakes. So you take screenshot of this and later on you have to draw in the notebook. So types of graphite flakes. Out of these 5 types, A type gives better mechanical properties. This statement you have to write. Type A gives better mechanical properties. Now, what are the characteristics of this type A? So that recording symbol is overlapping with that spelling is mehanite. M-E-H-A-N-I-T-E. Mehanite. Mehanite is good quality of gray cast iron. So what type of questions are asked? Write a short note on mehanite. Second question, what is inoculation treatment? Third, what is good quality of gray cast iron? How it is obtained? So for any question, you have to write this explanation, which I am going to explain you now. So if you see the types of graphite flakes and you have to draw this type A there during explanation. I repeat once again, you can draw all these 5 figures in short and explain that out of above 5 figures, type A is for mehanite. Okay, remember this. So, out of about 5 types of graphite flakes, type A is having better mechanical properties. It is having uniform distribution and random orientation. So, mehanite is good quality of gray cast iron, having uniform distribution and small length of graphite is also important. Now, one thing I taught you yesterday, the standards and specifications. So, in that standards, one name was there, ASTM. Are you remembering? ASTM. This standard was there. Sachin Kengar. Sachin Kengar. Are you in? Sachin Kengar. So, for case 1, the formula of Karuna Sarvade. Roll number 7. Karuna Sarvade. Roll number 7.
Yes, sir.
Answer. What is the STM? Unmute yourself. Hello. ASTM means what? American Society. For what? Hello.
Testing machine.
At least refer previous slides. You might have taken screenshot and might have written in the notebook. American Society for Testing of Materials. This is one standard which is used for. Yes.
American Society Testing Material.
For American Society for Testing of Materials. Okay. So according to ASTM, these plates are also given some codes. So ASTM number 1, ASTM number 2, ASTM number 3, ASTM number 4. So we don't know until and unless we'll see ASTM 1 means what. We have to open that handbook and check ASTM grading for plates. If you see that ASTM 1, ASTM 2, plate size gradings are given. So I was explaining yesterday that these standards are not only for materials but also for processes and sizes and maybe dimensions. So according to ASTM, this good quality of grey cast iron is mehanite, and you will not write this the ASTM number. It is just for your just extra information I have told. So it is produced by inoculation treatment. What is inoculation treatment? So I told you 3 to 4 way question may be asked. Write a short note on mehanite, or write a short note on inoculation, or what is inoculation treatment, or what is good quality of grey cast iron, how it is obtained. Now let us see. Inoculation is one process in which inoculants such as calcium silicide, aluminum, titanium, or combination are used for reducing the graphite flakes. These inoculants are added in the melt. So I have molten cast iron now. It is in melting condition. In the furnace itself, in the ladle, I will add this calcium silicide, aluminum, titanium before pouring. In the ladle, I will add, and then I will pour. When I will pour with these inoculants, it will solidify, no problem. But when it is solidifying, whatever flake size is produced, it will be uniformly distributed and it will be small length. And once after solidification, you check the microstructure, you will find good quality of structure. This is called as mehanite. Why this change happens? There is no up or down of the percentage of carbon. Percentage of carbon remains same. Silicon remains same. Only process in formation of flakes. That becomes easier and good quality because of presence of this. These names you must remember. All these names you have to remember. Calcium silicide, aluminum, titanium, or combination. And it will give good quality. And what is last statement? Mehanite is having superior properties than ordinary grey cast iron. So mehanite is grey cast iron only. Only the difference is it is good quality grey cast iron. Now, once I have mehanite with me, suppose this is mehanite block. This is ordinary grey cast iron. Inoculation treatment is given means what? This block is melted and then once again solidified by adding these inoculation treatments, elements. This is mehanite. So earlier in this case, here quality or distribution of flake was not so good. Length was not less, it was more. Distribution was also not good. But if you give inoculation treatment, it gives good distribution and small length. It will produce mehanite. But friends, this is one-way process. If you use that grey cast iron with good quality of flakes and distribution for some sufficient period, and once you will remelt, the effect will be demolished, and once again you will get ordinary grey cast iron. Remember this. So as long as you are in solid state, that remains there, the effect remains. Once again you remelt, and again you have to form that part. Once again you have to do the inoculation process. Then only good quality grey cast iron will be produced. This is called as inoculation treatment. We'll go to next slide. Now, very important cast iron. Write down. Nodular cast iron. In bracket, spheroidal graphite iron. Its short form is SGIN. This spheroidal graphite iron is market name. This is market name. So in market, people will not understand what is nodular cast iron, but people easily understand SGIN. So you also hereafter remember this name as a SGIN. So we'll see what are the characteristics of it. Now read it. It is product of grey cast iron. It is product of grey cast iron by nodulizing treatment. What was earlier treatment? It was earlier treatment was inoculation treatment, and this treatment is nodulizing treatment. Inoculation treatment gives mehanite, and nodulizing treatment gives SGIN. So students maybe get confused. So I repeat statement once again. Earlier treatment was inoculation treatment. Inoculation treatment gives good quality of grey cast iron only, that is mehanite. Whereas in the inoculation treatment, flake remains flake. So earlier distribution was not good, only due to inoculation, distribution becomes good and length reduces. But flake remains flake. Whereas in nodulizing treatment, as a raw material you have this grey cast iron. If you melt it and if you carry out nodulizing treatment and if you pour it, the flake size vanishes and it becomes round shape, globular shape, nodular shape. That's why, because of this nodular shape, this cast iron is called as nodular cast iron, and its market name is spheroidal graphite iron due to spheroidal shape of graphites. So flake shape converted into nodules. This is a flake shape. This is converted into globules, a round ball-like shape. So these flakes are converted into nodules. That's why this cast iron is called as nodular cast iron. Now, what are the nodulizing elements? Nodulizing elements are magnesium, chromium, zirconium. So these elements are added in the melt before pouring of grey cast iron. Same process. I have ordinary grey cast iron. I will melt it. I will take in ladle. Now I will take powder of this magnesium, chromium, zirconium, and that will be added in the ladle before pouring. I hope you are getting the meaning of ladle. Ladle is a pot which is used for pouring. In manufacturing process you have studied. So in that pouring pot, that is ladle, these nodulating elements are added, and then it is grey cast iron is poured. And once it will be solidified, earlier it was a flake shape, but now after solidification you will find this round shape. There is no change in phase. So alpha plus P plus G, same thing. Alpha plus P plus carbon. Phase remains same. See here, previous. Alpha plus P plus C. There also alpha plus P plus C. Only instead of this flake, it becomes round shape. It becomes round shape. So that is called as nodular cast iron, and its market name is SG iron. Now what are the characteristics? It solidifies with globular graphite structure, hence the name that I told. Nodular cast iron is having better mechanical properties than this any of the cast iron. In the family of cast irons, nodular cast iron have better mechanical properties. Among the family of cast irons, SG iron is having good tensile strength, toughness, ductility, and elongation properties. And hence it is also called as ductile cast iron. Now there are three names I told: ductile cast iron, nodular cast iron, and SG iron. Spheroidal graphite iron, nodular cast iron, and ductile cast iron. All three are same. Now ductile cast iron name is given because of its property. Means among the family of cast irons. Now remember, very important thing I am telling you. Steels are having good ductility, good elongation properties, but cast iron is usually brittle. Ductility is not the property of cast iron at all. Ductility is property of steel only. But if you change the structure, how? Grey cast iron, whatever part you have, melt it, once again solidify it, but before solidification, if you just add these elements, that magnesium, chromium, zirconium, it will solidify with same phase, but shape of the graphite is different. And this, because of this shape, when if you take some rod and check the properties in elongation, you will find that among the family of cast irons, there is one say in Marathi, in that way, among the family of cast irons, this nodular cast iron gives good elongation and ductility properties. That's why this nodular cast iron is also called as ductile cast iron. Now friends, this ductility is not far higher than steel, etc. It is just reaching near to it, and that's why this name is given as. What are the applications? Furnace doors, cylinders, pistons, gears. Now how to draw this figure? See the microstructure. I will erase the pointer options earlier. See, very simple. Draw one round. I hope you are drawing along with me in the notebook. I will change the color of pointer.
temperature at this state and the stock of operation the complex as a property of the complex what we have minified to the
Right. Now, right. This white part just surrounding to the graphite is alpha. It is shown here in the actual photograph you just check. Ferrite. This is actual photograph of the steel. Cast iron, ductile cast iron. Whatever picture I have shown, that picture is actual photograph taken below the microscope. And we are drawing schematic diagram. See, ferrite is given, which is a white gap. That is ferrite. So this gap is ferrite. Then this red globules which I have drawn, these are graphite plaques. Graphite nodules. It is shown here. Earlier it was flakes, and because of this nodalizing treatment, it becomes globule. It is shown here. And whatever is surrounding remaining outside this is perlite. If you check the earlier question papers, you will find the questions. Draw the microstructures of with nomenclature. So number of types of steels which we have studied: low carbon steel, medium carbon steel, high carbon steel, mild steel, in low carbon steel, mild steel, dead mild steel. Then whatever may be the structures in the alloy steels we have studied. At the same time, this cast iron, grey cast iron, then nodular cast iron, white cast iron, mortar cast iron, all these structures will be asked for, suppose 5 marks question, draw any 2 microstructures. So 1 microstructure for 2.5 marks or 2 marks. So if you draw this simple figure and give the names alpha, carbon or graphite and perlite, you will get out of out marks. How simple it is, see. Only you should draw it well. So I request all the students, okay, you might have taken screenshot, but how to draw in the exam, that demonstration also I have given. So please draw it. Previous figure also I will put for grey cast iron. Here, for grey cast iron also you might have taken. And then this is nodular cast iron. I'll wait for 1 minute. Right.
For compression, they have given this. Okay, so this is the classic case 3. So here first you have to calculate the compression.
Okay. So today we have studied the classification of cast irons. I will go back. Those who have not taken screenshots, you can take. So cast iron types: grey cast iron, white cast iron, and mortar cast iron. I will explain this mortar cast iron after this white cast iron in next class. Time being, just remember I have explained this chart. Favorable condition for grey cast irons are higher carbon, slow rate, and more graphitizing elements. See, if rate is not slow. The time is required for graphitization reaction. And that graphitization reaction will not take place. Then it is difficult to obtain pure carbon. So these are the favorable conditions for gray cast iron. At right hand side, favorable and less percentage of carbon, fast cooling rate, and less amount of graphitizing element, almost negligible. These are the favorable conditions for white cast iron. And if these conditions will mixed, means higher carbon and fast cooling rate and more graphitizing element, or vice versa, the mixture of the gray and white cast iron is produced, that is mortar cast iron. So here this is a gray cast iron. Graphitization reaction is Fe3C that gives 3Fe plus C. So this reaction is graphitization reaction. You can give this reaction is graphitization reaction. And because of this, cementite decomposes into iron plus carbon. This iron goes to ferrite and carbon remains carbon. And the carbon is in the form of flakes. And this cast iron is having good fluidity, good damping capacity. Hence, it is used for making machine beds, bushes, pistons, drainage pipes. Not only pipes. So, if you move around the road, a metallic cap on the drainage. That metallic cap is also made up of gray cast iron, friends. So, you might have seen heavy drainages. There are nowadays cement concrete caps are there, but it's at some old places, in some historical places, if you go to some big size drainage caps are there which are very heavy. They are made up of gray cast iron. And the reason for why they are made up of, they are using for machine beds, that I have explained. Why they are using for bushes, that also I explained, because of its excellent damping capacity, which fulfills the requirement of machine bed. Types of graphite flakes, please take a screenshot. Out of these 5 types, first is better. How to obtain first? It is given next slide. That is mehanite. Mehanite is good quality of gray cast iron obtained from inoculation treatment. Calcium silicide, aluminium, titanium, or combination. Now, nodular cast iron I have explained. It is because of shape of the graphite. Flakes are converted into nodules, that is globular shape. That is because of addition of magnesium, chromium, zirconium. These are called as nodulizing elements, which are added just before pouring, and it will change the shape of graphite without changing the composition. Because of changing the shape of graphite, the properties are improved like anything. And among the family of cast irons, this cast iron gives good elongation, ductility, toughness. Hence, because of its elongation properties, among the family treated as ductile cast iron, used for furnace doors, cylinders, pistons, gears, etc. And this is the microstructure. So, friends, this is all about this gray cast iron and its product today. In the next class, we are going to study white cast iron. Okay. Tomorrow, I don't know, I will check my timetable, but in whatever may be the lecture, there I will give the questions that will be your test, because 2 chapters will be over in the next lecture. And everybody, please make availability of papers to take screenshot of that. Whatever may be the questions, test I will prepare, and then accordingly solve within 3 to 4 days. And you have to send it me on mail. I will provide the information how to submit it. It will be treated as your unit test, open book test at home test or open book, whatever maybe you treat, because we can't conduct physically here. After 2 chapters, that test I am going to conduct. So I hope everybody have taken screenshots, downloaded videos. I also uploaded notes of chapter 1 and 2, where all this information is available. You can download and study it. Okay. Thank you very much. Those who were late, can you tell your roll numbers? Suraj Gauri.
Yes, sir. Range problem.
This is standard answer. Okay. Okay. Thank you.